couple of months ago, we were doing a little remodeling in the basement, and he decided to cut out a piece of random drywall, and
we found a cubbyhole that had a spooky chair in it with a bottle that looks like it was at some point for someone to sit in, but there is no way out once you're in, and the latches were on the inside of the house. So once you go in, you can't open the latch to get back out.
It's as if everything is frozen in time. There are newspapers, other artifacts that you'll see down there, but it's all been left as is.
So what year was the newspaper?
I haven't gone in
We
to
haven't checked. We'll be checking with you to see, but if I
Today's
had to
the
guess,
day.
maybe 1960s, 1950s.
Maybe.
So, and prior to you owning a house, you knew a couple other people owned the house, and no one was remodeling anything. So this is like a unpleasant surprise.
Correct.
Right. Definitely unexpected, but the area hadn't been touched. He was the first in, I guess, since then to remove that drywall and find the latch that opened from the outside only.
And cigarette butts.
And cigarette butts.
For some strange reason, still up there.
All right, so we'll be going down to the mystery basement to see a mystery room. So from the outside, you can't tell that there's extra room in the house?
No, it blends right in. There's a space that you would not anticipate something was there. It just looks like it was part of the basement. Unless you come check and do intricate research, you wouldn't put two and two together for that cube space.
So when you saw that sort of weird opening, what did you think it was?
Initially a shelf. There was a floating shelf, so we thought, oh, it's just a shelf happens to be back here. And then it moved.
Until we found the latches.
And then there was the metal latch, and he said, whoa, what is this? And pushed against it.
Should have left it shut.
All right, so we're going to go down and check this out and see how spooky it is.
Very well.
All right, here we are. So this is the area. There was a floating shelf placed here. And once he moved it, he also noticed there were latches here on the outside that you have to open from out here. Closed like that. It's closed, opened, and then here's a cigarette bud.
And you could just push that open.
Yes. There we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze in there if you can come out.
Sure.
And I'll try to see if that if that actually opens up. Push it open. Kate, you say you're a medium, or how would you describe your skill, your whatever you want to call this? We don't really do ghost hunting stuff, so
right.
I don't even know what to call this. So what would you describe yourself or your abilities or your?
I don't know. I was when I was 17 years old. All of a sudden, I had a ghost come to me, and I mean, there's a whole long story behind that, but.
Tell the long story.
After that, okay. I'm named after my great-great-great Aunt Catherine. When I was 17 years old, I was going through some really not good stuff, and she came to me and just looked at me in the face. She held my arm and said, everything's going to be all right. And I woke up the next morning, and I remember it very vividly because it was very strange because I was awake. And that happened, and after that, it just became a more regular thing for me to have the sense of other people around me that weren't there. And, so I don't know what to call it, because I don't want to be put in a box with people I don't trust that are on TV that try to take money from people. I just, I go places and I sense things, and, they can be very powerful feelings or touches and things like that, which is something that happened. Not powerful, but it did happen here.
So
today.
You want to share with us, what did you feel? What do you think? What was it that came to you? I just see an empty room that's creepy. It looks like some sort of a torture
I think that I got the in general feeling everybody that looks in a room like that is going to get with ability or sensitivity or anything. It kind of looked like somewhere you don't want to go or be. But 2 times I had my wrist pinched. And the first time I just thought it was an interesting feeling, and so I just relaxed and continued on with what we were doing, and it happened a second time. So I would definitely say that there is, at least in my personal experience, there's something else here, but it didn't feel horribly negative. It just felt like someone trying to be like, I know you're here, and I'm here. And, I've only been here for like 2 hours at this point, so...
How was the pinch?
It was a pinch on my left hand like this. But it happened twice. I've learned to not make a big deal about these things because they happen to me fairly regularly in different places, so I just let them go.
So you felt the presence of some entity, but it was a friendly one.
It is just someone saying, hey, I'm here.
Did you get any ideas of what that room was used for or anything like that?
Only because of knowledge I have of the area, but nothing in a medium sense. But if you look in that room, if anybody looks in that room, you're like, that chair is from the 1950s, and that is a mafia room where they hid people to take care of them. And I can't say that for sure because that's just an observation, clearly, because I don't know.
It seems
I
like
just know where we live.
It just occurred to me. It seems like it could be a discipline. We'll call it a discipline room. But I guess it could also be if you were in trouble and you were part of the group, and they wanted to hide you in a place where you wouldn't be found by law enforcement. That would be a good place to hide you too.
I don't know, the chair's kind of on the smaller side. Maybe the height to look at. Well, I had a feeling that maybe someone was torturing kids there or something. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. It's definitely creepy looking.
Although,
yeah.
I will say this, in my experience with children that I know were in a bad place, when they're here, it's usually just playful. And you could be right, I don't know. Because that's a playful thing to pinch somebody, like just to get your attention.
When we were downstairs and you were sat to see if you felt anything in front of the room, you did mention it felt like another ghost tour that you were on.
Yes, yeah. Out in Gettysburg, there's an orphanage, and I've been there a few times. The dark feelings I get there are definitely adult feelings. And even though the children there were treated very poorly, that isn't the feeling you get from the children. The children seem to have these incredible positive memories. They even try to follow us home. I've had a little boy one time with blonde curly hair everywhere we were beside me, and he grabbed a hold of my skirt as we were leaving. And I had to say...
Was that a real kid or
no? It was a entity. It wasn't an actual kid, but I could feel him. He held my shoulder. He followed us around the tour, and as we left, attempted to leave with us. But I learned a long time ago, when you leave a space that you know something is going on, you must say, "I've appreciated our time together, but you must stay. You cannot join me," and that has been an issue. In the past, when I have forgotten to say that, and I have had little friends follow us home.
Oh, man. Well, I can see Gettysburg being full of that stuff. If you feel, I'm completely opposite. I'm not gonna say I don't believe in anything, but it never happens to me. So it's just like, all right, if you tell me you believe that, it's fine. I'm not gonna disagree with it, but I've never experienced anything like that. So.
Well, because of my religious background, I would normally be like, no, but it's happened to me so many times that it's not really it's my reality. So
I'm a skeptic myself, but I have had some creepy experiences.
But that was 3 in the morning in the back of the bar. Those are different creepy
No,
stories.
that was the little boy that followed us home from Asbury Park, actually. When Alex had it, he's like, get rid of whatever that is. And it was just this little boy that followed us home from a bookstore. And he's like, why does the door keep opening and shutting? I was like, oh, that little boy from the bookstore followed us home. And he's like, what are you talking
Is that
about?
the bookstore that gives those tours, the ghost tours?
Yes, we went on
yeah,
it.
Asbury,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah,
But-
that's actually good. I recommend it. Anyone goes to Asbury, check out those ghost tours. They're more informational.
Yes, it's a great history tour at the Paranormal Bookstore.
Yeah. Ghost
This
tours.
This is an unpaid plug.
Well, I mean, most ghost tours tend to be historical tours as well, which is why, I'm willing to go on them. If they were just ghost stories and creep me out, then I'm not going to go. But they tell history too, and then go into potential apparitions. So,
All right. So in closing, friendly ghosts or something.
I'm not feeling anything negative.
Okay, nothing negative,
It
so-
seemed my experience so far in this space is that it was just wanted attention. Hello, I am here.
as the little lady said in Poltergeist, this house is clean.
All right, so I
No
guess
guarantees.
The homeowners should be happy with what you found because they were freaked out. I was freaked out when I saw the video. I'm like, this is creepy. I don't want to
Honestly.
find this in my house.
Yeah.
I don't want to find that at my house either.
But I guess that's good news that if you did feel something, it was positive. And all right, well, this is our first a ghost hunting episode, or whatever you want to call this.
We'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, exactly. But this wasn't something that we usually do. But anyway, thank you, Kate.
Oh, you're welcome.